Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Lady Nyca, and with an update. Now, for those of you who don't know, I did drop a review for the Netflix series Self-Made. It's supposed to be inspired by the life of Madam C.J. Walker. If you have not checked that out, I will link that down in the pinned comments, along with the link to an article that we're going to discuss tonight real briefly about Madam C.J. Walker. Now, after I did the review, at the end of the review, I brought out just a few of the many discrepancies that I found in the movie. One of which was I could not find any marriage decree for Sarah and Charles Joseph, right? I even found in reading the book by her great-great-granddaughter, Lilia Bundles, that a lawyer stated he could never find a marriage decree, right? So I came to you guys with the review and I told you that those were my findings. I even let you listen for yourself to the recording from the excerpt from the book, right? So then I began to look again later on after I had uploaded the review for any information I could find out about the marriage between Madam C.J. Walker and her third husband, Charles Joseph Walker. And I ran upon an article by OprahMag.com. I will link that also in the pinned comment. It's going to be the link to the review in the pinned comment, and right below it, it will have a link to this article, because I want you guys to read how Twitter reacted to Blair Underwood, who is the actor that played C.J. Walker in the series Self-Made. Now, again, I questioned the validity of their marriage, because there was never any proof I could find. And then to hear it again through the granddaughter, I thought I was tripping. So I listened to it very carefully. Then I conferred with a very close colleague of mine, somebody I really look up to down on the YouTube streets. And she wasn't able to find, we came to the same conclusion, basically, is what I'm saying. So I don't want to put no false information, because the movie in itself was a bunch of lies. Although entertaining, it still was, a bunch of lies. I wish it would have been more educational, but, and hopefully someone in the future will do a documentary and actually put some facts in there so that people could be educated about this wonderful woman, right? Well, I found an article over on OprahMag.com that says why Madam C.J. Walker divorced her third husband, Charles Joseph Walker. They were only married for 4 years, okay? Now, in the Netflix Self-Made, which chronicles the life of Madam millionaire hair care maven, Madam C.J. Walker, also known as Sarah Breedlove, we not only learn about the mogul, but we learn of the people who surrounded her as she became successful. The plot line covers her daughter, Lilia Walker, and her former employer turned sort of rival, Annie Turnbow Malone. But one character we definitely can't forget is Charles C.J. Joseph Walker, her third husband, whose name she adopted when she launched her hair care products. Played by actor Blair Underwood opposite Octavia Spencer, Walker, CJ, was an ad man and a salesman. She married him in 1906, following her first marriage to Moses McWilliams at 14, and her second to a man named John Davis. CJ began assisting with advertising of her products when she first introduced her first salve, Madam Walker's Wonderful Hair Grower. But as Self-Made shows, their marriage deteriorated as she grew successful, and they divorced in 1910. Now, I sure want to know where they found a divorce decree, because I could not find one, and I searched high and low. But then again, I'm just one person, and this is OprahMag.com. I'm sure she had some very, very well-skilled researchers doing the work for these articles. Underwood tells OprahMag.com their relationship collapsed because of ambition, drive, and sometimes just growing apart. But there were other factors involved. As Walker's great-great-great-granddaughter Lilia Bundles writes in the biography, on her own ground. CJ was an alcoholic, like the show depicts. Cheated on Walker with one of her sales agents, Dora Larry. For many viewers on Twitter, it was disappointingly predictable to see Underwood portray a wounded, troubled husband who just couldn't stick around to see his wife's success. Now, I'm going to link this article because, child, they letting him have it, and I want y'all to read it, okay? So, no worries, this article will be linked below in the pinned comment. But Underwood 55 argues that is just not that simple. People look at CJ and say he's a bad guy because he did certain things later in the relationship, but that's boring to me. He says, I don't play roles like that. I won't play roles like that. If I can't establish who this man was in the case, who they were together, the fact that he did love her, that's more interesting than saying he cheated on her. Underwood, who has been married to his wife, Desiree DaCosta, for 26 years, cites Bundle's Boo, which shows that CJ showed extreme regret for betraying Walker and choosing Laurie instead. He and Laurie got married and started a doomed hair care business called Walker Laurie Company. But soon after, according to Bundle, CJ described his life as hell and said he discovered Laurie did not love him, but only wanted the title, the name, the formula. CJ blamed alcohol and the evil Laurie for his troubles, writing in a 1914 public apology letter that he still loved Walker better than life. But that wasn't enough, according to Bundles. Walker told a reporter that their trouble started long before his affair. She said, when we began to make $10 a day, he thought that was enough and I would be satisfied. But I was convinced that my hair preparations would fill a long-felt want, and when we found it impossible to agree due to his narrowness of vision, I embarked on business for myself. In studying the history of his character, Underwood described a specific perspective that added more insight to CJ. When a man, especially then, feels less than he should feel about himself, he has low self-image, it's hard for him to be seen in her shadows, he said, because this was the world where women didn't do that thing. That's why she's so iconic. He had to process this within his own being, but then you're dealing with the outside world looking at him like, so you're just Mrs. C.J. Walker? That plays on your psyche. Should he get over it? It's easy for us to say in 2020, a 2020 perspective, but it's more complicated. As for the fate of the real CJ, despite his repeated requests for money and attempts to get back within Walker's good graces, he was only given $35 by Walker upon their divorce. She moved on to build a factory in Indianapolis that would grow her empire and cement her place in history, honey. So, I guess this article is basically saying that CJ and Madam was married. Again, I question where did they find the divorce decree, because, child, I looked high and low for that. Oh, but that means I got to step up my investigative research skills, huh? Anyway, check the pinned comments for all of the information, the video link for the review itself, and the article. I want you guys to go over and read this article. Child, they let him have it in them Twitter tweets that they have plastered on the website, okay? That's it. That's all. Remember, the depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. In the meantime, in between time, please remember to rate the video. Ratings get me recognized on the YT streets. Comment down below in the panel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this newfound information about why Madam C.J. Walker and Charles actually divorced, and actually finding out that apparently they weren't married, because I definitely had questioned that. If you have not subscribed to this channel or my backup channel, LadyNyca Live, please check the description box below the title of the video. Subscribe to this channel and that channel over there. Tap your notifications on both. And when the world go back to normalcy at some point in time, you will get a notification to your phone. and you can come over and join in the conversation. I thank each and every one of you guys for being so patient and so understanding. You know, sometimes I'll go off to myself for a minute, and it's in those moments that I am, you know, getting me back right so that I can be a better form of myself each and every time I come down to the YT streets. So I really appreciate you guys. Someone said in my previous video that I didn't seem happy. Honey, I am half asleep, honey, okay? It is warm because it turned cold in Louisiana. My house is warm and I was sleepy. But I'm woke now, and I found that information, and I had to come over and chill it out with y'all real quick and tell y'all what I had discovered. But child, don't never get it twisted. If I'm unhappy 9 times out of 10, I ain't going to even get online. That's real talk. That's how real G's do it. We don't never let you see us sweat. That's it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.